and I'm here tonight on Skype with Sami. Sami's with Blue Helix. Say hello to the fans, Sami.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
All right. Let's start off by talking about the band a little bit. What year did you form the band Blue Helix? 2008, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in 2008, and, the band has gone through its growing pains, as they all do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are now currently, we went from a 3 to a 4, and we're just making it rain that way, Thorne,
Despite the lineup changes, you guys keep going. What's your secret?
Persistence and, just having the drive to succeed. Having a band is probably the hardest thing you can do. It really is. There's so much involved in being in a band, and it's a lot of work, and it's a labor of love, and you do it because it's the only thing you know how to do.
I saw you took a trip to Africa. The video shoot, especially live from Hell's Gate, was super cool, dude. You did
Thanks.
Masters of War while hanging out with some Maasai warriors and a Maasai chief. I mean, who does that? Tell us the story about your Africa trip.
My wife, my wife Renata, she has a special gig where her company flies her all over the world to work with them on tax law. And anyway, she dragged me along with her because I'm just lucky like that. Opportunities arose, and we had my at the time Galaxy Note 4, which was my recording device. And my wife, she's an amazing videographer, and we were able to do 2 videos while we were out there. And the one with the Maasai village was just a great kind of story of my entire Africa trip. There was shots of me down there in Hell's Gate in those canyons.
Awesome.
Playing, and all of a sudden all these locals just appeared.
It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Thanks,
just you hanging out, rocking out with those Maasai. I mean, that was good.
That was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and it's something I always take with me, and I hope to do it again, actually.
Let's talk about evolution for a minute. You've released 3 CDs to date. Your debut release was the 3-track EP Light the Wick in 2009. Coda was a 4-track EP in 2011, I believe, and of course, The Monster, your LP, A Tale of Two Halves, in September of 2014. My personal sense from Light the Wick to A Tale of Two Halves is that your music's become more theatrical. How do you think the band has changed or evolved over the 8-year period?
Well, in 2008 on Light the Wick, I was singing backup. I had a friend of mine named James doing the main vocals. And I recorded all the instruments on that record. And that evolved into, me deciding, okay, you know what? I'm going to take vocal lessons, and I'm going to do this myself because no one can represent how I feel more than I can. And so I took vocal lessons with Susan Carr, who was, in my opinion, the best vocal teacher on the planet Earth.
Right.
I started singing on that album, and my songwriting wasn't really as good yet. My recording skills were still shaky at best. So I did hire another engineer to help me, which finally I said, you know what? I'm going to make an album where the songwriting is good, where, I can take my time recording it, producing it, working with the right people at the right price to help me mix and master it, which is what I do now. I do all the tracking and engineering in my studio, and I send it for mix and master. When I was finished with Tale, I knew that I wanted to make a record that I would be proud of the rest of my life. I thought the songs Aliens and Carry Me were going to kind of take the band into a
different direction.
Yeah, well, I thought it would take us to a place where, the promised land. I thought someone would hear it and then it would just spread like a virus. I was wrong. I didn't have the right members at the time upon completion of Tale of Two Halves to tour. And so, my mindset now is I need to make a record that's better than that. It maybe doesn't need to be as many songs, but the songs need to be really strong, real passionate. They need to be focused. The sound needs to be focused. So the new record and the songs on the new album, I already think are better than the songs on Tale of Two Halves. They're definitely different. The whole experience, Thorne, has just been an evolution.
In the creative process, many of your songs, the songs that you sing about love and pain, and the pain that comes from love gone wrong, where does that sort of theme come from, of love and love gone wrong?
I write the songs in the band, and I don't know, my life has been kind of a mix of things, I've had good moments and bad moments, right, just like everybody, but I always like to have a sense of hope in the music, like things will be okay, even though things are really kind of on the down end of, the downstream, if you will, right?
Yes.
There's still, there's the other side of the river, right? So,
yes.
like if you look at abuse, the whole song is about, just being let down by the person you love the most, the one that you trust the most. And at the very, very end, the lyrics say, know that I am like the sun, I will shine light on the dark. And it basically says, hey, even though you put me in this position, I'm still going to be okay, and I'm going to be stronger and better from it in the end of the day. Every one of the songs has that kind of theme in it, for the most part. I'm always going to be kind of a lover's lament, kind of sad, kind of, gloomy, kind of melancholy guy.
What prompted you guys to fly over to South America and rock out over there? Are you Brazilian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how I met my wife. Actually, reconnected with her, actually. I went out there, and I've known her since I was 14. She is born and raised in Brazil, and my father was Brazilian, so hence why I was going there. And sometimes in life, things happen for a reason, and
that is cool and very fortunate for you.
Yeah, it is very fortunate.
If music wasn't a good enough reason, you found one more, right?
Really, though, I'm super lucky. I mean, some guys, man, they're just they marry the wrong woman. I score, dude. I really.
In one of your songs, I remember hearing the lyric. I think it was, "If love is like a melody, you are my song."
Yeah, that's actually her favorite song, Carrie.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, that is such a touching lyric. I was telling my own wife about that. I said, hey, you got to hear these guys. They wrote this lyric, and she says, You opened for Saving Abel at Jazz Bones. Was that the biggest band you've worked with?
Yes and no, because I've actually worked with, Scott Mercado of Candlebox.
Right, he tracked drums for you at one point, right?
I mean, that's a big band. Opening for Saving Abel was great, but I would say working with Scott Mercado of Candlebox was fantastic. I mean, I had the guy on my wall.
next to your Farrah Fawcett picture?
Actually, next to my Cindy Crawford picture.
Oh, sorry. Obviously, I'm a few years older than you.
Actually, for me, it was always Selma Hayek.
And who could blame you that?
Desperado, dude.
Talk about the energy that your band draws from the fans at your live shows. It's got to be something.
Man, that's the reason why we go out there. But yeah, I mean, when you play a place where everyone's there to see you, and people know the song lyrics, and people are seeing how much fun you're having. Oh man, yes. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Okay, let's get to Tale of Two Halves. That is a really great album with strong songs and great melodies. You talked about abuse earlier. You wrote somewhere that I read, it was for all you angry lovers. Was that a personal experience thing or just lyrics?
No, it's personal. Yeah, that was definitely a personal experience. Some women you meet are just vicious sirens.
No, say it's not true.
Oh man, out to just devour your soul.
I had a very emotional response to track 8, Wolves.
Of course, yeah.
The lyric, and this is going to get a little deep here, but let's go there. The lyric, I see the devil in my mother's eyes while she held my sister and I, both suggest something, deeply emotional that may have happened. We may be getting in a little too personal here, but would you discuss what you were trying to get out with that song, and what did the Hungry Wolves represent?
The whole song's about my alcoholic, abusive father. Yeah, so you can hear the two children praying in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the lyrics to that are actually pretty haunting too.
Yes.
Our mom was our strength growing up, and my dad was just a horrible, horrible, horrible person. When you go up with someone who's that evil, it's tough. It stays with you. That Wolves is actually the first song I ever wrote. I wrote that song when I was 15 or 16.
Oh wow!
On the guitar, I brought it back when I was a developed singer. That's actually my producer, my mixing engineer, actually, Dave Caggiano's favorite song on the album, too.
Now, track 4, Aliens, if you just watched the video, you would think it was a song about aliens because of the visuals. I'm wondering if it was really a song about aliens or a metaphor for something else.
It's just a metaphor about two people who are so different from the rest of us that they're like aliens to the world. The music video took on its own message.
Yes.
I don't know if there is such a thing as a perfect music video, but that was pretty much my idea of one.
The ending was brutal, man.
Yeah, but it's positive in the sense of, their love was so powerful that it transcended death. That's how he brought the shell back with him from the dream. And the song has special meaning to me now because I wrote it about a person that I love very much, whom I hurt very much, and I think the metaphor was there, for that. Aliens is my favorite track on the album. It always will be. It might actually always be my favorite Blue Helix song. Who knows? But that's why I made a video for it, Thorne. And the message there is special. And God, 2 years spent on making a video. That's a long endeavor.
I know that you can stream Blue Helix's music on Spotify because you scalded me the other day when I asked you about some of your earlier work. You said, "Well, it's all on Spotify, dude." And I'm like, "Well, how did I not scroll down far enough to see?"
I didn't mean to yell at you.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I could take it. I've been married 25 years. I know how to handle it.
That's my.
Can the fans still buy or pick up physical copies of your first two releases, or are those just gone and there it is?
No, they actually, okay. So you can buy both copies on iTunes and Amazon. You can buy them both on cdbaby.com, which is a great place to buy it too. But iTunes has everything. I do still have physical copies of Light the Wick, believe it or not. I think I still have a whole box of those. And Coda's gone. I'm actually looking for physical copies of Coda myself. I made the mistake of going to local CD stores, and where they have the free area where you put. Yeah, I was doing that at the time where I'm like, here's some free CDs, and.
Promotion.
What ended up happening, Thorne, is people took those free CDs and now they're on sale online for $15 to $20, and that's how people are buying them. And I'm not getting any of that love. I'll tell you right now, when the new album comes out,
you're not going to those stores, are you again?
Oh no! When the new album comes out, I'm gonna make an announcement on social media saying anybody who has a physical copy of Coda and wants to trade me for a new copy of this new record, here it is. So, because I'd like to have a couple copies of that just for keep.
Well, if you find a stash of copies, let me know. I will definitely pick one of those up.
Yeah, dude, you and me both. Coda. I mean, I just in the sense of like having it. I'll tell you what. I'll try to pick up two, even if I have to order it from Germany for $50.
Wow, that is harsh.
It is. It is, and that's what I've seen it for sale for $35 in Europe, and I'm
wow,
dude.
No, that's that's an homage, right? They can get $35 for your work. Who can get that for a CD? Hardly ever.
Yeah, but who's gonna pay it? Me.
What? And maybe me, apparently.
Oh, man.
Hey, Sami, I'd like to thank you and Blue Helix for your music and hanging with us today. For CRIM Radio, this is Thorne, and as always, no matter where you are, no matter what time it is, it's always time to rock. Thanks for rocking with CRIM Radio and Blue Helix.